Councilwoman Perkins Auguste.
Here.
Councilman Questa.
Here.
Councilman Jacobs.
Here.
Councilman Grover.
Here.
Councilman King.
Here.
Councilman Cedeno.
Here.
Councilman Ballman. Councilman Mazza.
Here.
President Gonzalez.
Here. This is a regular conference of the City Council as incorporated in the annual meetings notice of 2012, which was filed in the City Clerk's office and posted on the bulletin board on December 27, 2011, and sent to the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law of New Jersey. I will now open the public speaking portion of the meeting. Is there any taxpayer or resident present that would like to address City Council? Once again, is there any taxpayer or resident present that would like to address City Council? Seeing none, I close the public speaking portion of the meeting. New business.
Letter dated March 5th, 2012. From His Honor the Mayor, advising that subject to your advice and consent is making the following appointments. Suzette Cavadas, Esquire, and Kevin D. Harris, Esquire, temporary municipal prosecutors of the Municipal Court of the City of Elizabeth.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated February 29, 2012, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to renew the policy of insurance covering public officials and employees' liability with Admiral Insurance Company through the agent of record, Hughes Plummer and Associates, Somerville, New Jersey, for the period January 31, 2012 through January 31, 2013, at an annual premium of $69,874.13.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 1st, 2012, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to David Weber Oil Company, Carlstadt, New Jersey, for automotive lubricants, oils, grease, and hydraulic oils for various departments for the period February 29, 2012 through March 29, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $10,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 1st, 2012, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Bank of America, Staples, Framingham, Massachusetts, for the purchase of office supplies for all departments and divisions at a cost not to exceed $200,000, and with W.B. Mason Company, Inc., Secaucus, for the purchase of toner and cartridges for printers and fax machines through the Somerset County Co-op at a cost not to exceed $80,000 for the period March 5th, 2012 through January 31st, 2013, at a total cost of $280,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 1st, 2012, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Garden State Highway Products, Vineland, New Jersey, for reflective sheeting for the Public Works Department for the period February 29, 2012 through March 31st, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $10,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 6, 2012, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Allied Oil LLC, Hillsborough, New Jersey, for the purchase of gasoline for the Public Works Marina for the period March 2nd, 2012 through March 1st, 2014, at a cost not to exceed $300,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated, let's see, this would be March 2nd, 2012, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting the City Council's approval of the city's tax year 2012 cash management plan for the period January 1, 2012 through December 31st, 2012.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 2nd, 2012, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting authorization for the tax collector to accept payments of taxes without interest charges, provided that payment is made within the 10th calendar day following the date upon which some become payable, and fix the rate of interest to be charged for delinquent tax.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 6, 2012, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting authorization to submit an application to the local finance board to participate in the New Jersey Environmental Trust 2012 financing program to finance the Midtown Infrastructure Project not to exceed $7.5 million. The interest rate will be less than one-half that of regular financing.
Any comments? Vote it on.
Letter dated March 6, 2012, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting that City Council consider the adoption of 2 resolutions in connection with the city's participation in the 2012 New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust financing pool. A resolution on the form and sales not to exceed $7.5 million, general obligation bonds, and a resolution authorizing documents in connection with each application. The interest rate will be less than one-half that of a regular financing.
Any comments? Vote it on.
Letter dated March 5th, 2012, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting to amend the resolution dated October 25th, 2011, authorizing the execution of a Neighborhood Stabilization Program third-party agreement with McGill Real Estate Holdings, LLC, for the provision of a loan for the rehabilitation of a 2-family home located at 325 Fulton Street in the amount of $150,000, specifically to increase the amount of funds provided by $190,000, raising the amount of funds to $340,000, to enable McGill Real Estate Holdings to also rehabilitate a 3-family home located at 200 Livingston Street, change the terms of the loan from a deferred payment loan to a repayable loan, not to exceed 50% of net cash flow, consistent with the rules and regulations, and execution of a third-party agreement required under the terms and conditions of the New Jersey State Neighborhood Stabilization Program.
Any comments?
I just got a question.
Councilman Grover.
Tony, can you find out 200 Livingston Street is a commercial property? There's a store on the first floor.
200 Livingston?
Yeah. So are they going to get rid of the store? It only mentions it as being a 3-family home, but there's a store on the first floor.
Okay, 200 Livingston.
Yeah. So, Mr. President.
Any other comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 5th, 2012, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into a contract with Birdsall Services Group, Cranford, New Jersey, for professional services related to receptor evaluations for 3 sites: 7482 Livingston Street, 119 to 127 Front Street, and the Midtown Urban Development Project in the sum of $18,500.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 5th, 2012, from the Director of Public Works, recommending awarding a contract to Underground Utilities Corporation, Linden, New Jersey, for the North Avenue Flood Control Project at a cost of $1,973,102.25.
Any comments? Put it on.
Councilman Ballman has requested a personalized handicap parking space that be held at 173 Jake Street be added to the agenda. Letter dated February 6, 2012, from Kleinfelder, Hamilton, New Jersey, requesting an encroachment permit to perform environmental remediation work within the public right-of-way of South 5th Street and 3rd Avenue, consisting of 4 soil borings in South 5th Street, 2 temporary well points, and 2 monitoring wells in the sidewalk of South 5th Street, and 4 soil borings in 3rd Avenue.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated February 21st, 2012, from Mr. Howard Kennedy, Elizabeth Public Schools, requesting permission to conduct the festival on Saturday, April 21st, 2012, commencing at 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. with a rain date of April 28, 2012.
Any comments?
Where is this?
Union Square starts.
Oh, so this is
In
the
front of
parade
the
for
high
the band?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, this.
We're not doing the parade, we're only, the festival has to be approved.
Right.
Not
But the parade is going to happen the same day.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I guess the one that was scheduled for January did not occur?
No.
Is that correct?
Yeah, this is the one to replace one.
To replace from January, oh, okay. Any other comments?
I'm a little confused here. It talks about where the parade's gonna start.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's gonna end in front of the Dunn Sports Center. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
So the carnival gonna be outside?
Yeah. It says here. So we gotta close the street.
Okay.
Okay, all right, put it on.
Okay, Councilman Grover has requested a commendation for Mr. Matthew A. Lopes for his attainment of earning the rank of Eagle Scout in Troop 101, Pack 101, charter to Our Lady of Fatima, Roman Catholic Church, Elizabeth.
Any comments? Put it on.
We, at the last meeting, there was a resolution to receive a bust of General Jose Artigas, and we've now received a second letter from the Advisory Council, Mario Benedetti, requesting to have the bust installed in Winfield Park.
I thought that was part of the first one. Wasn't that part of the first one?
Well, the first one was to
Just
accept
receive
it,
it. Okay.
and then now an ordinance has to be done to install it in the park, because there are conditions.
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilman Grover.
these gentlemen spoke to me today. They're supposed to call me Monday, and we're gonna get together and figure out exactly where they want to do it. I'm not John Petty available. So I don't know if the bus is not here, it's still on the ship. So there's no rush on this at this point. I mean, I don't know if you want to wait until John Papetti and meet with these guys so we can have an exact location of where it's going to happen. Because right now, we're just saying in Winfield, Scott, we don't know where, so.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no urgency to it, then I don't see why we couldn't hold it.
Then we also need to find out from these guys.
Who's gonna pay for it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's not an urgent thing that we need to deal with right now. They're supposed to hire an architect and all this other stuff, so I think.
Does anybody have any objection to holding this? No. Okay, then we'll hold it.
Mr. President, just to let
Yes,
them know that
Councilman
you require all those points that Councilman Grover mentioned, because just holding down is not really accomplish anything.
No,
Don't forget.
they're supposed to meet with us on Monday.
Right, so whatever you have to do, you have to lead them in the right direction,
Right.
because those people, they're here as a newcomer, and they don't know the procedure, what they have to do, probably. Right, man?
I'll help you.
Thank you.
Letter dated February 28, 2012, from the city treasurer submitting the treasurer's report of receipts and disbursements for the month of November 2011 and statement of bank balances and investments as of November 30, 2011.
Any comments? Put it on.
Councilman Mazza is requesting a memorial for Angelina Galasso,
Nigro.
Nigro. And that's it for me.
That's it. Anybody, okay, that's it for the agenda. Did anybody have a chance to look at the audio-video recording of the open public meetings that was distributed at our last pre-council meeting and provide any feedback?
I just, the bottom line on that ordinance that was presented years ago talks about providing city council with a copy. I need to know from the law department, does that mean that we all get a copy, or does that mean?
Well, we've been looking into it. We talked to the attorneys down at the League of Municipalities, so we're still seeing if that's even something we can do, something we can require, but we're still in the process of looking into it.
So I mean, that's kind of important. My biggest concern with the people taking meetings is that what they then can be used for. If they decide they're going to take one of our comments out of context, and we don't have a copy of that videotape, we never defend ourselves.
Right, absolutely.
And I think that's one of the main issues I have with people taking these meetings. who have bad faith, and they're gonna sit here and take one of our comments out of context and use it against us, and then we have no way to say, you know, there was past of it and the next of it. And that's why I was asking that question, because I think we really need to, that's gotta be part of that ordinance. And I don't know if just giving one copy to the city clerk is enough, because I don't know if they have the room to store that. I think it would be best every one of us get a copy. If I'm being taped, I want a copy of what I'm being taped about. I think that's, I mean, I don't know what anybody else has any comment about that, but I think that's something that really is the reason why I have a concern with it.
I agree, Councilman. That's a very, very important point. Not only that, if we get multiple persons that then want to come and do the same thing, it just becomes even a bigger problem. So I don't know how long it will take us to come to some conclusion on this so we can move this
I
forward.
had thought that we would have an answer by this evening, but the attorney down at the League of Municipalities has not returned our phone call. He said he had some sample ordinances and some language, but he must have gotten tied up or something today. So.
All right, so we'll hold it till the next regular conference then?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, okay, great, thank you. All right, we don't have any closed session items or anything, so I guess we go to the once around. Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
I don't have anything. Oh, I did that already.
You did? Okay, good, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Keenan.
I have a memorial for Margaret Dunnigan. She passed away last week, and here's the obituary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
the memorial that the clerk's office did for past Mayor Fernandez of Seabright, can we send this down to the City Hall in Seabright?
Okay.
Please. I'm not gonna have a chance to go down there.
Do you have anything else, Councilman Keenan? No. Okay. Councilman Grover?
I don't.
Nothing else? Councilman Madden?
Yeah, I don't know whether this will be on the agenda, but I got a paper about the an handicap space, 851 Cross Avenue. Yolanda, you may put a copy for me. That means it's going to be on the agenda for removal. We have to vote on this. Deletion.
Do you have a copy of that?
Let me show it to you.
I don't have it. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
your copy.
Was that something you asked for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got neighbors complaining that this person probably passed away or moved out of town.
Oh, okay,
and
this was a
it's
delete.
right. So
Mhm.
it's asking to put on the agenda to please.
You
Well,
already did,
When?
April 26, 2011.
And the
It was
sign.
delete- it was
Right,
supposed
the
to be
sign is
deleted.
still there.
It's still there?
Right.
Oh,
So you just
okay.
need to send it down
Then
to
we have to
traffic
call.
so they can remove
Okay.
it.
8:50.
So that could make another space for the people that are living in the area.
We'll advise traffic so they can remove the council.
I did advise them through the city clerk's office. That's why I got this copy, but the sign is still up. It has to be
Okay.
removed by Public Works. So
It's got to go down, skip it.
on the subject pertaining to the videotaping, whether it's a TKR or whether it's the gentleman is doing right now, or anybody, any citizen that comes before city council, I think in the United States of America, you ought to allow people to videotape or whatever. It's under the First Amendment Act, if I'm not mistaken. So there were cases held in Hoboken, New Jersey, in Jersey City, and I don't know, I don't understand correctly the first word councilman, why, what was it you don't like, to be video or to be taken out of content if anybody say?
I don't have a problem with anybody videotaping.
Okay, what is the
My
problem?
problem is that we should have a copy of it.
Right,
Because if the person's here for bad reasons, and they videotape, and they use just part of what you say
right,
against you, you have no way to defend yourself. Because you don't have a copy of it.
good, that's a good point.
That's the point.
I did the same thing many years ago. There was a meeting that was recording by TKR, and I requested to see, when I called TKR, the answer was, after 7 days, that's it. They erase it. So,
That's my point, that's exactly my point.
Yeah, Councilman, nobody's questioning the public's right to come and audio or videotape the meetings. That's without question, they have that right. We're just saying that we also have a right to regulate it so that we can protect the integrity of our meetings should anyone decide to use that in an inappropriate way.
Well, my point is, let's say at the next council meeting, you're gonna have 300 people come in, everybody with camera or with my cell phone. I could actually do this right now at a meeting. I just put my phone and I just gonna push a button and I'm gonna recording it, Mr. President.
Right.
Now you've been on record. Want me to give you a copy? I'm gonna say, get a copy from the city clerk.
Right, which is fine,
Right.
but right now, they
So-
can't, they don't have to give a copy to anybody.
Right.
That's the problem.
I don't know if we're allowed to do that, but I'd like to see what the law department or the state, whether will stand before any challenge by the law. I have no problem, anybody filming me or take me out of content. That's why we have the court, that's why we have attorney to defend us. That's why we're paying Mr. Estrada to be in the law department to do his job. You know, and I mean, I don't want to stop, but I think that's a valid point. The same thing that I was looking a few years ago, in which TKR, after 7 days or 8 days, I remember exactly, they didn't have the tape, was erased. So it's a good point that you bring that up, on which now I understand what you really wanted to do. That's it.
Okay. Say, Councilman?
Yeah.
Councilman Wester.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Briefly, let me just say that the videotaping issue is highly complicated, in my opinion, so I'm glad that the law department is taking time to really thoroughly look into this matter. Secondly, Mr. President, I need to clarify, when is Youth in Government Day? Did we decide that already? I know we talked briefly about it, but
About the date?
I think it's the
May-
last meeting in May, which
Yeah.
would be.
May 22nd.
The 22nd,
May 22nd?
I think,
last
so,
Thursday.
let me see, make sure.
That's Tuesday.
Last Tuesday is the
Yeah.
29th, so.
The 14th.
No, no, that, the 29th is the fifth Tuesday.
Right.
Okay, so the
So it's
22nd?
22nd.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. The last thing, Mr. President, as we all know, recently the Governor Christie decided that the Elizabeth Board of Education will be able to build a brand new school, another school. With the help of the law department, I've done some research, and it appears that, according to a law that was established just 4 years ago, the district and city council must work together to find the most appropriate site for such a school. So I would propose a resolution inviting or requesting members of the board or the Board of Ed to join city council in a joint committee. So this committee's responsibility would be to analyze the sites that are available and to ultimately make a recommendation. And I would like that by resolution. That way we'll make sure that we have something official and the board will be able to respond. And I'm sure that they will respond in the affirmative because it is a legal requirement. And Mr. President, for you, I have a copy of the law in case you haven't had a chance to review it.
No, I haven't. Thank you, Councilman.
Mr. President, would you make 9 copies so everybody else will be aware of the new law?
I have a copy for you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Anybody else who wants a copy? Here they are.
Thank you. Okay.
If we could do that next week, I would appreciate it, Mr. President.
Law Department can put something together?
Yes.
A resolution?
Okay. Anything else, Councilman?
That's it, thank you. Oh, a copy from, Jack, of course.
Councilman Sedan?
Pass.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson? Just a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mr. President. Mr. President, it's not even 8 o'clock.
We adjourn.
Congratulations, Mr. President. I think